I'm Ted Poppy. Eurozone leaders are in Brussels trying to hammer out a deal with Greece. This will be the country's third financial bailout, and it will include more and even harsher austerity measures. There's word that if the deal does come together, it will happen quickly. Nala Ayad is following developments.
We've heard, and this is unconfirmed, that there is a proposal on the table, one that would require Greece to pass in Parliament in the next couple of days, in fact, some very specific laws to show its commitment, to regain that trust before the leaders commit to even negotiating a rescue package. The fact that there is a proposal being talked about suggests that there may be some common ground. The fact that they haven't come out to tell us that suggests that they still haven't agreed on the exact terms. It must be a difficult discussion for the Greek Prime Minister, in fact, that even though he said that he's ready for honest compromise, it must be tough for him to sit there and listen to what precisely they want him to do.
That's the CBC's Nala Ayad in London. Negotiators from Iran and 6 other countries are close to nailing down a historic nuclear deal. But Iran's foreign minister says no agreement will be announced today. The talks are aimed at curbing the country's atomic program in return for sanctions relief. Negotiators have given themselves until tomorrow. That's the third extension in 2 weeks. The U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry says a few tough elements remain, but he's hopeful that deal will be reached.
How about pumping lit?
Well, wet and cool weather is blanketing much of BC, giving firefighters some much-needed rest, but for a couple who had to leave their home, the relief comes with sadness as they see their devastated property for the first time. In other news, the medals keep coming for Canada. Raphael Gagne has won Pan Am gold in men's mountain bike. Earlier today, Calgary's Linda Keiko won a gold medal in the 10-meter air pistol. And Canada leads the medal count and has the most gold medals. Well, drivers on a major Toronto commuter thoroughfare had some company this morning from a few Pan Am athletes getting some training in. Police say 9 Brazilian cyclists in their team uniforms were spotted on the shoulder of the Don Valley Parkway. That was around 10 o'clock in the morning. Officers quickly escorted the athletes to a safer route. A spacecraft called New Horizons that launched more than 9 years ago is finally getting close to its destination, Pluto. It has been sending images that scientists say give a clearer picture of the planet than anyone's ever seen before. Alan Stern is the principal investigator.
And now when you look at an image of Pluto, you see a real planet there. You see a complex world that just begs for exploration.
Well, scientists suspect Pluto and its 5 moons formed after an ancient collision of 2 icy bodies. That theory will be tested when New Horizons does a historic flyby later this week. Well, we go to this one.
And by the way, I am so happy to be out of that.
Yes, that is David Letterman. He came out of retirement briefly this weekend, and it's all thanks to Donald Trump. Well, Letterman says he was happy not working until Trump announced he was running for president. Letterman surprised the audience at a show in San Antonio, Texas. He presented one of his classic top 10 lists.
That thing on his head was the gopher and Caddyshack.
Well, Letterman retired at the end of this year. Prime Minister Stephen Harper will meet with Ukraine's Prime Minister Arseniy Yatsenyuk this week to discuss Ukraine's attempts at economic and government reform. A statement from the Prime Minister's office says the two leaders plan to discuss how to further broaden the scope of a close relationship between the two countries. The Harper government is pursuing a free trade deal with Ukraine. Well, that is the latest CBC News. We stream live and we podcast at cbcnews.ca. We're also available on iPhone and iPod Touch. Just download the free CBC Radio app. You can also hear us on Sirius XM Radio. That's channel 169. I'm Ted Poppy.
Hey, you know those doubters? People who don't believe you could start your own business? Well, forget them and get after it with GoDaddy.ca. Our Get Online Today toolkit includes your very own domain name, a professional website, and personalized email powered by Microsoft Office 365. Get all free products starting at just $2.99 a month with the purchase of an annual plan. Just $2.99? Get your business online today at GoDaddy.ca. That's GoDaddy.ca. Domain included with annual plan only. See site for details.
Mississippi Delta, Zydeco, Root, For over 20 years, Holger Peterson has delivered the blues. From vintage vinyl to exclusive concerts, in studio and backstage. Saturday Night Blues. Saturday night at 6, 7 Atlantic, 7:30 in Newfoundland on BBC Radio 2. BBC Music, Canada's free online music service with over 50 web radio stations. Drown your sorrows in the saddest songs mood streams, tearjerkers and heartbreakers that feel your pain. Because sad songs say so much. On your computer and on your iPhone, iPad, BlackBerry 10 and on your Android device. Visit bbcmusic.ca and connect with the music you love.
I'm Randy Packman. Welcome back to the tap, and here's another mash, and let's rock it.
You're listening to an encore edition of Randy Bachman's Final Tap.
was a great way to start the show, rocking out. That was Sweet Dreams, Seven Nation Army. Seven Nation Army was Jack White from the White Stripes. Jack made white drums and guitar. And the Rhythmics, Annie Lennox and Dave A. Stewart, who sold over 75 million records worldwide. And that was putting the the old Eurythmics kind of thing from 1987 with the brand new White Stripes, Seven Nation Army. That was a great mashup. Listening to Randy's Vinyl Tap on CBC Radio 1, Radio 2, and Sirius 169. And the show was on mashups. Putting songs together that are the same beats per minute. Some of them aren't the same beats per minute, but when you start them on the right beat, they kind of fit together. And it's just an amazing exercise in musicality by these DJs who put these things together. I've tried to put a couple together, and they're really not easy. So we're just going to kick in. Here's another fabulous one. Get ready for this mashup. Hope you're writing them down. And if you just Google mashups, you'll get a whole bunch of these. You can find them yourself on YouTube and download them and have a lot of fun.
Yeah.